And so I was thinking about how eating is like a socially acceptable way to be with people. You know? There's this girl I went to church with that she told me that she doesn't like to go out to eat with people. That she was like, why can't we just be in each other's presence and not have to be like stuffing our face with something. And I was like, you're so right about that. And I'm really glad that there's somebody other than me that thinks like that like asks these questions about society, like why do we do these things? Now, I think that, you know, eating when you're socializing, like that's a very common thing, you know, and that's been practiced for a long ass time. So it is interesting, like just the whole like prospect of like, you know, being around people and not having something to distract. Because like for me, like I'm a lot more capable of listening to somebody if I'm doing something else. So if I'm coloring, you know, I see a lot of women knitting. So it's like, I get it. I don't knit, but I get it. Like, for some reason, if you give yourself like an additional task, it's easier to pay attention when you don't want to pay attention, you know? Because I'll be real with you, most of the stuff I don't want to pay attention to. I don't want to listen to people. Like, there are a lot of people, like, they just talk and talk and talk. And don't think I don't know that I'm sure that people feel this way about me. Because, yeah, like, I know that I'm annoying. I know that I talk a lot about stuff. But the thing is, though, like, if you're not interested, you're not interested. And I'm not just going to keep talking your ear off when you're not interested, you know? I can pick up on that pretty well. When I was younger, I think that was a lot harder for me to discern, you know, a person's interest level. But I guess it's because I'm a conspiracy theorist, so it's like, I'm really good at, like, gauging, like, if a person's normal or not. Like, I'm good at figuring out, like, the level that they're at. So, I know that it's going to be a problem if they believe in voting. Like, I was talking to this friend of mine at church. Like, she picked me up, and we were just talking about, like, Trump, and she said something about Reagan. Like, she said something positive about Reagan, and I was like, fuck Ronald Reagan. And I could tell that, like, she was, like, really off-put by my sentiment towards Reagan. And, like, she didn't say anything. But that's the thing, like, sheep just go by, like, face value. They go by, like, what a person says, not by what a person does. And so it's like, yeah, you can talk a great talk, but if you don't walk a great walk, it don't matter. You can say make America great again all you want, but that ain't what's gonna happen, you know? Because he was the originator of that campaign slogan. Well, I don't know if he came up with it, but that was his campaign slogan. So I just find it interesting that, like, Donald Trump is, like, not a politician. You know, just like Reagan. Reagan was an actor. Reagan was formerly a Democrat. You know, I don't think that Trump is a Democrat, but, I mean, he definitely doesn't think much of Republicans. So the fact that, like, he ran in that party, I mean, it's just funny. He's just kind of proven his own point, you know? That they're really stupid and that they don't really value the stuff that they pretend to value. So, anyway, what was I saying? I was talking about eating. Interestingly enough, it was this woman's daughter that I had this conversation with about eating. And yeah, you know, if I go out to eat with people, that's like a way for me to rationalize socializing, because I really, really hate socializing. But if I have a plate of food in front of me, it's like, okay, I can be here with you. So I'm pretty sure that that's the mindset that like everybody has, whether they realize it or not. Like, okay, I'll tolerate you. I will tolerate this conversation because we got chicken wings, baby. We got chicken wings. But really though, it's like, when I do stand-up comedy, you know, I got all these posters that I work on, and it motivates me to stay in the room and listen to other people talk about eating ass, you know, because that's funny to them. So they talk endlessly about nasty stuff. And I think that they mainly do it because they think they're more likely to get a gig, you know, if they talk about the stuff that's socially acceptable to talk about. I really don't think that a lot of them do like half the stuff that they talk about doing. It's just a way for them to fit in with a really, really cool eating ass crowd. But yeah. What was I saying? I was saying something so important about eating. Eating is a distraction from oneself, or... Well, I did think that a lot of people eat, to cope, you know? That's why, like, eating and watching TV go hand in hand. Like, I'm trying to think of a way to talk about this that is, like, innovative enough that it might motivate people to change, because it will inspire them to look at it differently. Addiction always goes with addiction, you know? Like, it's very rare that you just have one thing that you struggle with, you know? So, if you find, like, whatever, like, the thing that you're doing that's really detrimental to you, figure out what you're pairing that with. I'm going to ponder this all day at work, if I can remember. I'm going to ponder what it is like, I mean, obviously, like, the TV and food, like, that's an easy thing to understand. Alcohol, cigarettes, marijuana.